Hello and welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me. As you can see, I'm in front of a scene that you don't often get to view, and I thought I'd share that with you all. Many that you can see I've encouraged to grow up the bank there and up the bank there and right up through in those trees in the centre of the shot. They're taking their time, but over the past nearly 10 years I've been doing that. So I thought what I'd do today is I'd take you for a little tour of where I spend a certain amount of my week. Okay, well, let's take a view up here. This is Mahonia, and it has a beautiful scent, really perfumey, quite oh yeah, it does. Like the equivalent of lemon puffs, if you've ever eaten any of those. It's the flower equivalent, I reckon. And here's a view of these from up here. Okay, so I'll probably do a number of tours here. If you haven't seen my Bluebell videos, that's filmed. They're filmed here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go for a little tour. May not get into the woods. I'll just do some of the garden bit and a little bit of the wood, because to be honest, the wood is the best bit. There's a view down there over the ha-ha that I'm responsible for creating. It's a bit of an arty wood, this. An arty garden. You see the granite sculpture there. There's various bits of sculptures all round. Not that I've done them. Oh, yeah, there are some that I've done, actually. Okay, and here, this is the main gates. As you can see, some gates at the end there. And a vista into the wood. And this is the Italian garden. So named because it's quite Italian. Let's go down here and I'll show you. I'm not going to go through all the plants. There's a lot of them you can't see. But in my cutting back I leave some sculptural entities just for the frost to get. Now if we go onto this wall, quite slippy wall, you see down there, that's the orchid meadow and orchard, which if there's orchids on my channel, then some of them are in there. And this is the veg triangles surrounded by box. As you can see, we don't plant straight lines here. You can see by the garlic in there. And then the fruit cage there, that balances out the pyramid of laurel behind it and fits the shape, although it is quite dangerous. And I know many people will want to see what the house is like. Well, there's my dream home right there, lived in by someone else. But if anyone's interested, my name, my full name, means warrior guardian of the wooded hill. So when I say that's my house, I'm not actually lying. Now this is the path to the greenhouse. That's where the spring comes in, because this is off-grid in terms of water and quite often many other things. Sorry about my shadow, but that's what happens in summer sun. This has a beautiful scent here, although it's a bit late, as does this viburnum. The one behind, you can see it in flower. This one's stopped being flowery now. You can see the cyclamen behind, in front of the greenhouse. Now, as we get up here towards the house, we've got a choice. There's a reflective sculpture. As you can see, there's not a lot to see. And the cat. Now the cat's interesting because the cat moved in when the owners were away for a while. They came back, he was there, and he hasn't gone. He's quite moody, but then what cat isn't? Oh, first crocuses. And it's a nice view out there. Strangely, if you go along there for a couple of miles, you get to the spot where we buried the placenta of my son. Yeah. Hence one of the reasons why this channel's called A Coincidental Life. Now that looks like I'm going to be asked to plant that. Now there's the tub for the rainwater. I can't remember how many thousand gallons that is. I'm not sure, but it is thousands. And the first path to the woods. Oh, that sounds dead. Oh dear. Yeah, some of the string is broken. Well, this path is called Cloisters because there's a touch of ancient Greek and Roman in here. This is a wall I makeshiftly built for the barbecue area, which hasn't happened yet. So let's take a wander along here to the Blue Polo, and that is what we call it. These rocks in the path here, they must have been something along here because this path was already here apparently, and there's a bit of a quarry up there, certainly a face of some kind of stone recovery, and we do find occasionally very small donkey shoes, so we're wondering, and well, here we are, look, that's a piece of ancient coppice, which I'll discuss on another channel, but that's an ash. Now that's quite a few hundred years old if you look at the bottom there, and looking at it, I would guess it was probably last coppiced at the First World War. That's how old those trunks are. It's not the only one though. I just had to do that for you all. Here's another one down here. Now this is a field maple. That's obviously been coppiced, and that's quite a few hundred years old as well. And then if you look up here, I mean even just that straight trunk there, that's quite old, that oak. But it is an oak, yep. Yeah. But that's an ash, a coppiced ash. I mean, look at it. That is massive. That really is an ancient tree. But I mean, I would say 500 years old. I probably wouldn't be far out. And there's another one at the back there. So in some ways although nature takes its toll on your body, and don't ever think it doesn't, because it does, you pay, I do get to enjoy some absolutely beautiful pieces of nature. Here's the steps now down into what is called the cathedral. You see the old Oxford Cambridge University language here, and a nice mossy floor to it, but that moss has only come about because we had a dry summer and then a really wet autumn. But while I'm here, if you haven't seen the video on the walking tree, this is the walking tree, but at one time it was there, exactly there. That's where it was. And over the years that I've been here, and it isn't even 10, it's moved down the slope. And the reason I know for sure is because we used to turn the tractor behind when we were mowing. So we went round and then turned in a circle. Well, we can't do it without moving the rock, and also it's quite undulating because roots are exposed and things. Now if you go down that track, you head down to the stream, which I'll do in another video, because I don't want this to go on for hours and hours. So yeah, so we'll take a walk down there, and you'll see it on other videos as well. There's where the mad tea parties take place. I've never been, but I've heard the commotion. All the strange beings that appear in ancient woodlands like this. And one of the reasons we know this is ancient woodland, not just by those coppiced ash, but down in there, not quite to the bottom. I can't even give you an estimate on how far really. No more than 100 meters, maybe say 50 meters down there. There is a huge patch of yellow archangel, and yellow archangel is one of the indicators of ancient woodland. That's not the only indicator we've got here, but it is actually one of the biggest patches of it that I've ever seen. And I took photographs and showed someone. They said, well, I've never seen one that big. So okay, so there's this tour for January, mid-January it is. Thanks for watching. Join me next time. Who knows what I'll be doing. See you later. Ta-ra.